basically you just wake up in a hospital bed one morning and they're like, "Hey, you're paralyzed."
Yep.
I mean, I can imagine it's just soul crushing. Like, what's that moment feel like? Like, is this real? Is it a dream?
I remember a tad bit waking
Yeah.
up.
Was it this immediately like, okay, I'm gonna make the best of this, or is this period of like mourning, like, woe is me, I can't believe
I
this
mean,
happened?
we all mourn differently.
Right.
We all are different. So for me, I was just thankful I still had the use of my arms, my hands, my upper body. I was
Yeah.
thankful I had that strength.
How far along into your college journey did the accident happen?
I was a sophomore.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you had
So
been there.
like
This
right.
was like your second year.
Yeah, it was my second year. Yeah,
And
football
did you
arrangement.
want to play college football? Like, was that the goal?
I got a scholarship to play college football
Yeah.
up in North
Awesome.
Virginia. Yeah.
And did you want to go to the NFL? Like, did you have bigger
Yeah, I
ambitions?
had some aspirations of doing that. I didn't find CrossFit until 2018. My accident was in 2010. I was like, that was too easy. So yeah, so like usually I have difficulty getting back into the chair, and
Right.
I'm just like, huh, I guess CrossFit is working.
That's so, that's so encouraging when you do all this work and maybe you don't like measure it in a bit. It's
Yeah,
like,
I mean
wow.
CrossFit is very functional for adaptive.
Good day. Welcome back to the Freducation podcast. I'm your host, Fred Johnson. I'm fired up to be here with today's guest, David Kellam. David, thank you so much for coming on today.
Hey man, thanks for having me, man. For sure.
Man, I know I worked out with you once a few years ago. I was super inspired by you, and I've kind of seen you blowing up a little bit lately. So, for those of you who have no idea who you are, can you give a little background of where you're from, what was growing up like for you?
Well, my name's David Kellam. I am a Florida native. You don't see too many of those.
Yeah.
I'm a Florida native, born and raised right here in Orlando. Went to Winter Park High School. Um, I grew up in a little small town called Eatonville.
Okay.
Not many people know about it. Um, well, yeah, they do, but yeah.
People in Orlando do, but not people outside
People in
Orlando.
Orlando know about Eatonville.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but yeah, I grew up there. Went to school, Maitland Middle. Went to Winter
Yeah.
Park High School, and I graduated there and went up to. I played football there, ran track there, and I went up to West Virginia to play Division II football up there. And up there is where I had an accident.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had a motorcycle accident up there back in 2010. So actually, when's that? The 26th, 27th of this month is coming up on 15 years
Oh,
since
wow.
since I've been paralyzed. Yeah,
That's wild. So
yeah,
I want to come back to that, but kind of before leading up to it, you're a high school athlete. You played football
yeah.
and what else?
I ran track.
Okay, cool.
Played
And
football,
did
I ran
you
track.
want to play college football? Like, was that the goal?
I got a scholarship to play college football
Yeah.
up in North
Awesome.
Virginia. Yeah.
And did you want to go to the NFL? Like, did you have bigger
Yeah, I
ambitions?
had some aspirations of doing that,
Okay.
but the way things are going right now, I'm kind of glad I didn't.
That's an awesome perspective. And was there like, did you choose West Virginia, or was it like that's the school that gave me a scholarship? So
Well,
like, what
yeah,
was
I
your
mean, for
thought?
me,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's always hindsight, right?
Right.
So, like,
Yeah.
if I would have, like, I didn't know anything about
Right.
college or like choosing to do different things here and there. Like, if I would
Yeah.
have like known what I know now, I
Yeah.
probably would have stayed home. I probably would have tried to walk on somewhere like UCF or
Okay.
UF. I would have tried to walk on somewhere native or
Yeah.
in the
Local.
state local. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, I would have tried to do that if I had known what I know now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how, like, did you already ride a motorcycle before you got to college, or was that like, I'm going to college, I'm getting a motorcycle?
Well, I just got like when I got up there, I had gotten into motorcycles.
Okay. Cool.
But yeah, I hadn't been riding along at all. I hadn't been.
Yeah.
Well, it was I was a statistic. So,
Right.
like,
Yeah.
there's like, I think there's a statistic out where like you've only like you get in an accident. I don't know the exact, but like I don't know, 3 to 4 months after you start riding.
Right. Right.
So, but yeah, I hadn't been riding a lot. I was self taught, but
Yeah.
and it wasn't like a technical accident,
Right.
but yeah, I self taught myself to ride a motorcycle, and I got like a mechanical brain, so like the switching gears came kind of natural to me.
Right. Yeah.
So, um, but yeah,
And you were playing college football, like you
yeah.
started the
Well,
season. What
I
was
was.
that? Were you red shirt? Were you on the field?
You said what now?
Were you a red shirt or were you
Yeah, I
on the
was a red
field?
shirt. Yeah, I was a
Okay.
red
So you're
shirt.
practicing, you're out there training,
Yep.
you're okay.
Yep.
Cool. Um, and how far along into your college journey did the accident happen?
I was a sophomore.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you had
Oh,
been there,
like
this
right.
was like your second year,
Yeah, it was my second year. Yeah.
and but now you're not a redshirt anymore. Like it's
Right.
time to play.
Right.
That's heavy.
Yep.
That's so. What I mean, obviously, you don't have to go into detail, but what recollection do you have? Is it like,
I remember before and little bits in between,
right?
maybe just like little tad bits in between, but
Yeah.
and mostly after.
Basically, you just wake up in a hospital bed one morning and they're like, "Hey, you're paralyzed."
Yep.
Do you? Wow. How? I mean, it's just so. I mean, I know a few people who that's been the situation for, but what is that?
Yeah.
I mean, I can imagine it's just soul crushing. Like, what's that moment feel like? Like, is this real? Is it a dream?
For me, like so, like I said, I remember like I remember a tad bit waking
Yeah.
up in the So I mean, it was a crazy story because
Yeah.
I a friend of mine that I had met up in West Virginia is one like I would like when I had my accident, I was on the side of on a guardrail. Like
Okay.
I think I hit a guardrail and I was like they said I was about to fall off on a cliff because I was up in West Virginia, so the mountains.
Right.
So I was about to go over, and it was late. I think it was late night, early morning,
Okay.
and guys that I had talked to previously, he actually found me on the side of the road.
Wow. So it
Yeah,
wasn't like
and
somebody
it was
called.
and it was a dark road. Like it wasn't like a really busy road.
Right. Yeah, coming from Orlando, it's like city, like somebody's going to see you right away,
Yeah,
and
right.
there's mountains, it's rural,
Yep.
so it's kind of a miracle that you survived.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
That's okay. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm so sorry that that's what you went through, but you're such an inspiration, like coming on the back end. Like how did you start rebuilding? Like, was it this immediately like, okay, I'm going to make the best of this, or is this period of like mourning, like, woe is me, I can't believe
I
this
mean,
happened?
we all mourn differently.
Right.
We all are different. So, for me, I was just thankful. I still had the use of my arms, my
Yeah.
hands, my upper body. I was
Yeah.
thankful I had that strength.
Right.
So I just got out looking for just different things to do.
Yeah.
And a guy named Bob Milia, he's a quad, but he works at Orlando Health, and he's a guy that just like kept pushing me to go.
Yeah.
And when I got out of the hospital, I just was looking for a bunch of stuff to do.
Yeah.
And obviously I'm competitive, so
Yeah.
I didn't find CrossFit until Bob's Orlando Health program. They helped
Okay.
with that program.
Yeah.
I didn't find CrossFit until 2018. My accident was in 2010.
Wow.
So, yeah.
What was the connection to, you said David was the guy that was pushing you. What was he like?
Well, Bob.
Bob.
Yeah.
What was the connection to him? Did
He is the spinal cord coordinator at Orlando Health.
Okay.
He was.
So he was like a
Yeah, he
pivotal
was
part
then,
of your
and he's
journey.
still now, and I'm still good friends with him today.
That's I mean, I imagine his influence in the journey had a big
Oh,
impact.
I
And
mean, still today.
that's so cool to know somebody had. I mean, because if he does his job half-heartedly, like
Yeah.
you probably wouldn't make it to
Yeah,
where
I
you are
mean,
today.
like anything Bob asked me to do, man, if I can do it, I'm gonna go ahead and help him out.
That's wild. So did you like leave college immediately and move back?
Yeah, so I left
Or
West Virginia
yeah,
as soon as I was able to get out of the hospital.
right.
I don't know. We flew back on a plane, which is
Yeah,
crazy, and I've never done that before paralyzed. But
right.
that was my that was my second time flying on a plane in
Yeah,
general.
right. Yeah.
But yeah.
So you're doing rehab
hmm
and you're starting to kind of put pieces back together. How long did it feel like before it was like, okay, this is kind
I
of
mean,
my
like,
new
so when I
normal?
got back home, I had my breakdown of
Yeah,
my mental breakdown. I mean, it didn't last for me. It didn't last long because I was just like, I want to get out. I like to be outside.
right.
So I wanted to get out and do stuff, try to find something to do.
Yeah,
Didn't yeah, like I said, it didn't last long. I was just out and about, trying to find different things to do. I tried hand cycling. I tried basketball. I tried
yeah,
football. I mean, not football, but a little bit of sled hockey.
right.
Like, but hand cycling stuck with me because I like doing. Like, I still would do that now,
Yeah,
because it's a good cardio and you can get outside and just forget about everything, and
yeah,
it's kind of like a motorcycle, you know.
yeah. That's cool. Yeah.
So yeah.
Was CrossFit like you started in 2018?
hmm
Did you start as a means of rehab or was it I'm
I
doing a new thing?
I just started because of, I mean, my body type was like, my body type is like, okay, you need to do something with this.
Right. Yeah.
So I was just like, okay,
You mean like big, strong, like
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I'm a stronger guy, so I'm just like, okay, this probably can, um, keep me in shape, keep my heart
right.
going, keep
Yeah.
me fit.
Yeah.
I mean, and it has, like, CrossFit has
Yeah.
changed my whole outlook on what I'm supposed to eat, how I'm supposed to, like,
Cool.
how I'm supposed to fuel my body. It's crazy.
Yeah. So walk me through because I know the first time I went to a CrossFit gym was
Uh,
like a, kind of a mind-blowing experience, and I imagine that was another level. But what was that like? Did you go by yourself the first time? Did you have someone with you?
well,
What was
there's a
the
couple
experience
guys.
like?
My guy CJ, that's another story. CJ, we grew up together.
Yeah.
He was did the program. He started the program with me and him.
Okay.
So we actually did a little story. 2019, I
Yeah.
think they flew us up to New York. We were on the Today Show. You can find that
Cool.
too.
That's cool.
That was a pretty cool story, but I'll tell you, we'll talk about
Yeah.
that.
That's cool.
But yeah, me and CJ, he was a basketball player
Okay.
before his whatever happened to him. Let him talk to you about that if you want
Sure.
to talk to him.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. We'll save
But
that story.
but but yeah, we we started the CrossFit over at SOCF Fitness. Now
Okay.
It was South Orlando CrossFit at the time, but
Yeah.
now it's
Okay.
called SOCF Fitness. Guillermo's the owner over
Yeah.
there. We started the program over there, and it kind of grew to
Yeah.
different gyms all over Orlando.
So you started in CrossFit. You're referred to as an adaptive athlete, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah,
Was
well,
that an adaptive
I
athlete
didn't start
program?
as an adaptive athlete. I just
Okay.
started
I'm an athlete. I'm showing up. I want to work out.
just showing up and working out.
Yeah.
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 I didn't start it because I didn't really get into competitive
Right.
CrossFit until probably 2020,
Okay.
like 2021, yeah, about 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
didn't really get anything competitive until about 2021.
But when you first went in, you were working out with other guys that were in wheelchairs, or what was?
No, just me. Really, just me and CJ.
So you guys showed up and together to the gym,
Yep.
and we're like, we're doing CrossFit.
Yep. We're working out. We're working out. We doing this.
That's and what was that experience like? Like the first
I
time in a
mean,
CrossFit gym?
it was. He was. It's basically called thunder and lightning. So I'm the thunder. He's lightning. So because he's much smaller. He's smaller than I am.
Right.
But he's very agile, and he's also he's got strength. But
Right.
we always challenge each other because
Yeah.
we our level of injury is pretty similar,
Okay.
and we challenge each other, cheer on each other. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Like the way that I don't know. The way that we push each other is
Yeah. Yeah.
more like brother pushing each other,
That's
and
cool.
I mean we still talk to this day. So
Yeah. How important was having him, like having someone in that journey with you?
having somebody there with me, understanding what's going on,
Yeah.
and like when we're struggling with different workouts,
Right.
and everybody, people looking at you like, why can't you do that? It's like, well, he look over at him like, bro, we don't have any core.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So, but yeah, him understanding that, me understanding that. I
Yeah.
mean, but that's something that we work on. We work on our
Right.
core a lot to try
Yeah.
to get better.
Yeah. That's awesome. What? So, how long were you at a CrossFit gym before you were like, I'm a CrossFitter. Like this is my jam. I love this.
I mean, let's say 2018 is when we started it. We were there. We kept going. We were going 2 and 3 days a week.
Yeah.
For like a year or so. Then COVID happened and
Right.
everything fell off.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And then 21 is when I picked back up, and I just decided, I was like, maybe I could do some competitive stuff here.
Yeah.
And
That's cool.
and then 21 is when I moved. I moved in 2020. So I moved in 2020, and I moved kind of far from the gym where we started at,
Right.
and where I work. I went to SOCF, South Orlando CrossFit.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's 5 minutes from there.
Cool.
So I pitched the program for the Orlando Health Program to South Orlando,
Yeah.
and they welcomed us with open arms. So,
That's
welcomed
that's
me
awesome.
because
Yeah.
I think I'm the only one that goes there right now. I mean, for a while there were a few people that were coming in, but
Right.
not anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's so you train, you started training and now you compete
Mhm.
without hip and without core function.
yeah,
Is that accurate? So
yeah.
what does adapting movements look like? Like what I mean, I think what is that?
Well, I mean, Kevin and Stouty, they really do a good job of adapting
Yeah.
movements to able-bodied movements.
Yeah.
Um,
Like how much I mean, a regular workout, you walk in the gym, there's a workout on the board. Are you having to modify like 50%, like 20%? Like is there a lot of like let me figure this out?
well, sometimes. So like Kevin and Stouty, they have an app where they have workouts on their app. So a lot of times I don't even come in and do the workouts that the able-bodied people do.
Right.
But sometimes I do adapt some of my workouts to theirs,
Yeah.
just so I can work with the class.
Yeah.
And just be with, like, stay on the same clock and all that stuff. I do adapt some
Yeah.
of my workouts to it. Like a lot of times I adapt my workouts to them if I'm going to stay in the chair.
Right. Okay.
Because some workouts I have to do, I'm out of the chair and I got to do a bunch
Right.
of moving, a bunch of getting in and
Yeah.
out of the chair. And for me, that's slow and that's in the way of people. So I
Right.
so I try
Yeah.
to do that stuff when I can do it on my own.
Yeah. that makes
But
sense.
like a lot of the other stuff that I do, I
Yeah,
try to adapt it to what they can do, like same pace.
right,
Probably we scale down the volume because we're only using half of our body.
right. Yeah, yeah,
So we got to scale down that volume and weight quite a bit.
yeah. Is there an exercise that's like, this is my jam? Like, I love this. This is my favorite.
Um, Strength wise, probably bench press for sure.
Cool, cool.
Strength wise, bench press.
Your numbers on bench press are insane. That's impressive. I think I saw. Did I see like 315 or something like that?
I did 315 at the games that back in 23.
That's insane. That's
Um,
awesome.
yeah, I had a. I don't want to talk about that. I had a
So
notion to try to do the Paralympics,
yeah,
to do powerlifting, but
okay,
there's a lot more to go into that than I thought,
okay,
and I don't think I was ready for it.
okay. Yeah,
So, I mean, there's older guys that do Paralympics too, so maybe
right.
later on in life I could probably try that again.
Yeah. But you're competing in CrossFit. Like at
Yeah,
this point, like what is that? Like you went from okay, I'm going to CrossFit to work out, and then
yeah.
you said it was a couple of years in, and now you're like, okay, now I'm going to compete. Was there like a level of like, okay, I'm good at this now, I really want to compete, or was it like, oh, I didn't know competing was an option, now I do? Because you're a competitive guy.
Oh
What was
no,
that?
so like for me, so it was more like, okay, I'm good at this. I can work at this. I can get better.
Yeah,
I can work with these. I can see these. Like I see some of these guys out here doing stuff. I'm like, I can get better at this.
yeah,
Um, my main issue is I'm bigger.
right. Yeah,
So a lot of the body weight movements are not my friend.
right. I can resonate with that. Yeah.
So
Um, So I remember, and I didn't remember this till I saw a video of you doing it, but like you have a wheelchair that you use
yeah,
specifically for working out,
I have
and
I got it's from Performax. It's a chair. It has a wheel in the back to help, to help keep you from tipping back. It's called the fifth wheel. It's detachable.
okay,
You can use that chair as a everyday chair or a workout chair because that wheel in the back detaches.
okay.
So
I didn't even realize like I'm sure there's a lot of things you don't even realize until you get to it, but I was reading about it and I was like, oh, it holds more weight because I was
oh
like,
yeah.
you have your body weight and then
Mhm.
you're doing these massive weights in them, and
Yeah.
so a regular chair wouldn't
Well,
necessarily be able to hold
I
that.
mean, the regular chairs could hold it, but not for over an extended period of time.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That But I imagine there's got to be a lot of things like that where you're like, oh, I didn't even think about that. Like, is that still a common occurrence when you're like, oh, okay, I didn't realize I was going to have to adapt to this or make a change here?
It's so crazy. Like going back to when I first, yeah, going back to when I first got injured,
Yeah.
real quick. Um, just like something as simple as just getting dressed, putting on pants and shirt.
Right. Yeah.
When I learned how to do it, I thought I was gonna have to be laying in the bed to roll over to put my pants on or whatever, to roll over to pull my pants up and stuff.
Right.
But as time goes on, things just click
Yeah.
and you figure out things. You got to think outside the box a lot.
Right. So I imagine, like, in that first moment, like, just getting your clothes on was probably felt like an accomplishment. But to go from that to, did I read that you finished seventh in the world in the adaptive CrossFit games?
Yeah, that was
So,
last year.
I
Yeah.
mean, to go from this accomplishment to like getting such a level of success in the CrossFit games, like, how does that feel? What is it like getting that, like, crushing it like that?
Well, competitors. If competitors wants to be on the podium or first.
Okay, I didn't win, so I'm not. Yeah,
So yeah, but yeah, I mean, I didn't win, so I want to get better. I need to get better to try to make that podium. I mean,
I love that.
that's the next goal, to try to make a podium.
How often do you compete?
Um, shoot, we compete. Um, I do two and three competitions a year,
Cool.
depending on where it is.
Yeah.
I just went back in April. We just did Sea Dogs. It was a weekend competition. It was a 2-day competition. It's pretty fun. It was down in Jupiter.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And then the Open, the CrossFit
Yeah.
Open.
Yeah.
That's basic for the adaptive. The Open is basically the quarterfinals.
Right. Okay.
So did that, and then the semifinals. We just got done with that a few weeks ago.
Cool.
Finalization is going to be on that on next Tuesday,
Yeah.
on the 3rd. Finalization is going to be for the top 10 to go to the games again. Hopefully,
Awesome.
I can make it. Fingers crossed.
Let's go.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know because it was real tough this year. I don't know if I'm going to make it, but I hope I do.
Do you find it getting harder every year because there's more competition?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I guess that's a good and a bad thing, right? It's
Yeah.
good because it pushes you harder, but it's bad because like I want to be number one.
Nah, I mean it's not even that, man. It just makes you keep pushing,
I love that.
going harder.
That's awesome. So we talked a lot about the physical side of this, but I imagine so much of it is mental. And
Oh, yeah,
you've
I mean,
talked about it being all about attitude. How do you keep your mind in the right space when imagine it's easy to get discouraged?
For
Or do
me,
you? I mean, I imagine it's not all like you're not always up and up and okay.
I
I'm
mean,
moving forward.
I'm just I've always just in general I've always just been a person that just like smile and
Yeah.
happy. That just me. I mean, I'm happy to be alive. You know. That's basically what keeps me going. I mean, my family.
Yeah.
So I'm just happy to be. I just happy to be here still. You know.
That's
And
awesome.
there's so like I tell everybody, there's could be so much. Everything could be so much worse.
Yeah.
It could always be worse.
That's I heard somebody say they were like, "There's always somebody out there who's had it harder than you,
Yep.
that's doing better than you." I was like, it's hard to hear, but it can push you.
Yep. I mean, it could always it could always be worse for sure.
Yeah.
I don't. I try not to dwell in
Yeah.
what the bad's happening. I just try
Yeah.
to just keep pushing. I mean, go forward. Can't go backwards. Just keep going forward.
I love it. That's awesome.
That's it. People like a lot of times people ask me, "Do you ever walk again?" I was like, "Man, I mean, there's never a 0% chance because if I wake up the next day, there's always a chance."
Let's go.
So I mean, it's not gonna happen if I die, but if I wake up the next day, there's always a chance.
That's 100%. That's
That-
awesome.
That's
So-
how I think about stuff, man. It's just like in general, like there's never 100. I mean, death and taxes is the only thing that's
Yeah.
that's the only thing that's 100%.
Well, and I feel like, I mean, mindset is everything. I mean, in anybody's world, if you start to get down on yourself in your mind, you start to tell yourself you can't do things. You start to believe you can't do things, and a lot of it is here. And once you start to say, not so much like, "Oh, I'll never be able to do that," is like, how can I do that? What steps do I got to take? And I admire your because I mean I've seen you work out in the gym, and it's intense, man. It's awesome. So it's an inspiration. You said you want others to know life's not over after an injury. What do you say to people that are maybe going through something really difficult right now, whether it's an injury physically or even just like a mental block they're going through?
If you are able to do something, just keep going towards that goal.
Yeah.
Eventually, you're gonna get there. It might not be tomorrow. It may not be overnight, but eventually you're gonna get there. Especially if you keep driving towards it. I would. Can you ask me one more time? You said
What message would you have to someone that's maybe just gone through a
Going through
loss,
something
or
like-
maybe they had an injury, or even just going through a hard time?
Okay. there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah,
There is a light at the end of the tunnel. Just keep pushing.
that's good. That's
There,
good.
there, there is. You can see on the other side if you look for it.
Yeah,
Like like if you, especially today's age, like there's YouTube videos on everything, and then like some people show you how to do things, and are showing you how to do things, and they're doing it with ease.
right.
But when you're watching the video, you don't know that person had a dark time before they made that video.
Yeah, yeah. That's a good perspective, and I think what I found what I'm learning is when I get into any sort of difficult circumstance, like instead of comparing myself or being jealous of other people that maybe aren't going through that, to think, okay, of all the people that are going through whatever I'm going through, I want to handle it the best as possible.
Right.
Instead of looking at like, oh, I wish I was in that other person's shoes or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So let's say that let's just imagine for a second, you go back to CrossFit Games, you get the podium, you get first place, you crush it. Would you then feel like, okay, I'm good, let me find something else to get number one at? Or is it like, okay, I'm going to repeat and I'm going to go back and I'm going to keep pushing to repeat?
No, I mean, I still would compete.
Yeah. There's
Probably
no
would
like a rival.
Yeah, I still would.
Yeah.
I still would compete if I won something like that.
Yeah.
Because I just like, that's just my nature. I just like to compete.
Yeah.
I should probably do it till I can't anymore. But
I love it. That's awesome. That's
yeah,
great.
that's just my nature. I still would compete and just like just staying in shape, man. Like shoot, what was that? Yesterday, day before yesterday. I had I was outside and I had on Memorial Day I was grilling, but I was cleaning out my grill and I was taking out on a smoker. I put water in my smoker.
Yeah.
And I was just taking out the pan to just dump it outside. I was backing up and with the pan in my lap and I fell backwards out of the chair. But I mean, I threw the pan, so it didn't get on me. I was able to throw the pan. I tossed the pan, but I fell backwards out of the chair, and I was on the ground. And then I just got out of the chair, and then locked my chair, and I popped back in the chair. I was like, that was too easy. So like usually I have difficulty getting back into the chair,
right?
And I'm just like, I guess CrossFit is working.
That's so encouraging when you do all this work and maybe you don't like measure it in a bit. It's
I mean, CrossFit is very, very functional for adaptive CrossFit is very functional for a wheelchair or for somebody in a wheelchair for sure.
Wow, that's so cool. That's awesome. I'm glad you didn't burn yourself or get.
No, it wasn't hot. It was all cool. It was just water that was just sitting because it was just meat water really.
Yeah.
It's just and I had when I fell back I threw it and then because I didn't want to dump it on the porch. I was like in the door. I had to wash the porch off anyway because I threw it back in the porch.
Man, well, thanks for sharing your story on here. If people want to follow you or support you or be part of your journey, how do they? Where do they find you? How do they?
Find me on Instagram or Facebook, TikTok. I got Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. I do a bunch. I have a bunch of workout videos on TikTok. Not workout, but just different things I was doing.
Awesome.
But Instagram, Facebook really is where I'm at. You can follow me there.
I'll put some links on there for anybody that wants.
You got my links, guys.
Yeah, perfect. Awesome. Well, I hope to get back up to your gym and catch a workout with you sometime. CrossFit Pursuit down in St. Cloud.
Oh, you're in St. Cloud, okay.
Yeah. Cool. So, but it's great, man. It's hard. You can't replicate the South Orlando CrossFit community, but
that community is awesome for sure.
Yeah. But no, it's been awesome, man. So, well, thank you for taking the time today, man.
Yeah,
I
man.
appreciate it.
Thanks for having
Your
me, for sure.
inspiration, absolutely. So, thanks for what you do. Keep it up, and I hope you get on that podium, man.
Thanks, man.
Awesome. All right. Well, have a great one, man. Take
You
care.
too. You too, man.
Thanks.